I'm Patrick King, and this is SYNTHWAVE Ultra. Blazing overhead with a roaring mix of synthwave, rock, funk, and pop, today's guest has made a big name for himself with his retro-style bangers and radical Squadron branding. Please welcome today's artist, Strike Eagle. So here we are with Strike Eagle. So so how did you get your start in like synth and retrowave and all that?
Okay, well, I started in probably 2016 after a year of coaxing from a former bandmate to get into it with like Gunship and Midnight and things like that. And I produce records for a living, so it's and I've always wanted to do something 80s inspired. And that was just kind of a perfect excuse of it's, oh, this is popular. Oh, okay, like this is good fun. And I started making it with my former group, Little Wolf, and things kind of took off from there, and that kind of went by the wayside in late 2019 for reasons I won't go into, but and then I formed Strike Eagle soon after that because I loved it too much to stop, to be honest.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's cool, because I mean you've really developed like your own specific sound. I mean, kind of like I mentioned in the intro, you have just a really cool blend of like synthwave and rock and like pop and funk. Like it's really cool, like just like how you've blended all these like just this wide variety of genres into your unique sound.
Thank you very much. It's basically I like to sort of draw from things that make me happy, to be honest, and all those things kind of tick my box for me. If I'm sitting there making the stank face, then it's like, yeah, okay, I'm all right with this. So I'm just sort of drawing from a lot of different influences. I'm big into prog, I'm big into metal, I'm big into sort of rock music in general, 80s pop, all that kind of stuff. So I kind of just sort of cherry pick from those different influences, really.
Nice. Yeah, because it's funny because I was going through your Bandcamp and like your discography, and like I could really see that, because I mean I really liked that that Covering Fire EP you did with like all the different covers, how you had like Burn It in the Third Degree and like this like stuff from like Top Gun, and then you also had this like really like dark Depeche Mode cover.
Yeah, I think because that for me, I mean, Violator is such an incredible record, and everyone does enjoy the silence, and for me it's kind of, there's so many other really good tunes on that record, and Halo kind of just stood out to me. I was listening to it in the car one morning, I was like, I need to cover this because it just makes me happy, regardless of context of song. I was just like, yeah, this is a vibe. So yeah, I decided to get into it, and the thing with that particular song is it sounds really simple, and it absolutely isn't when you dig in. It's so complex, but in a subtle way. There's lots of real kind of cool stuff going on that I didn't really appreciate until I started really digging in. Mm-hmm. And it was a lot of fun to do that EP.
Yeah, that's for sure, because I mean that's kind of how I got into the synthwave too, was like listening to like a lot of 80s stuff, so like Depeche Mode, Tears for Fears, that kind of thing, and then it just kind of like that with like some like modern electronic pop, and just kind of like eventually funneled me into that. But yeah, like listening to stuff like Depeche Mode, I mean, there is people could very easily write it off like, oh yeah, just 80s pop, but like there's actually a lot going on there,
Yeah, so much going on, particularly that kind of era, like sort of late 80s, early 90s kind of, where it's a lot darker. Martin Gore was doing a lot of the writing. I'm a big fan of that kind of period. Songs of Faith and Devotion, Violator, that kind of era. Big fan of the darker stuff, because that's what got me into it. And then I kind of branched out from there. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I really love that band.
Excellent. Well, so I guess kind of going off of that, so like, what are some of your big influences and inspirations?
Okay, well, obviously you touched on one there, which is Depeche Mode. The thing that really drew me into the genre was Gunship. So there's a little bit of that kind of stuff in there, but they kind of fused the rock and synthwave element really nicely, whilst sort of bridging the gap of a lot of different electronic genres, which I like. The sort of top three, I think everyone's top three really is Gunship, FM84, The Midnight, all that kind of stuff sort of sucked me in terms of synthwave. But in terms of things that actually influenced me, I'm a big fan of Stephen Wilson and his productions, big fan of Tool, Perfect Circle and bands like that, Opeth, from the sort of death metal / prog kind of area, like drawing influence from that. A lot of 80s rock bands, to be honest, your Def Leppards and things like that, big fan of them. On the funkier side of things, your Wolfpacks and stuff like that, there's a lot going, a lot of things that I kind of draw from. And yeah, there's probably too many to list, to be fair, but those are some of the big ones.
Yeah, I can definitely see that, because I can you can really hear some like the prog elements in your work too. I mean, I like you mentioned the Perfect Circle, because they have like a very distinct, very polished, just deep sound.
Yeah, it's full, it's clever, but it's not too in your face that you can't sort of get into it. Yeah, there's odd time signatures, but it's not like super OTT. Like, there's a lot of prog that is, which is verging on jazz, which I dig. It's great, but I try not to sort of shock people too much in that respect. So that single I put out, It's Got To Me, has got sort of a middle section that's in 15/16, so as I call it, spicy 4/4. So it's it's 4/4 with a drop semiquaver, or a drop 16th note for the rest of the world. And it's got that kind of, it's 4/4 with a stutter, and I'm a big fan of that. And on that note, like, that song's just about sort of driving down a road and having to pull over to appreciate a song, and that song was Haken's 1984, which was probably the first thing that I heard that was synthwave without it trying to be, because it's very much a prog record. That whole album, Haken's Affinity album, has got those 80s influences, but that one has got this amazing midsection that is just top down, shades on, away you go. And as soon as I heard it for the first time, I was like, pull over. It's like, right, sorry, rewind that. I just need to headbang for a bit. So yeah, that's what that song's about. It's kind of a little sort of nod to them in a way. So trying to draw from those prog elements is kind of fun, and I might lean a little bit further into that in the future. But yeah, for now, I'm not sure where it's going. I'm kind of still finding my feet a little bit and just doing stuff that I like, kind of eclectic like that, really.
Yeah, for sure. And that's one of the things too, man. Like, I feel like you've done a really good job of like establishing like your branding and your style. I mean, like, you have your whole like Radical Squadron thing, and I remember being really drawn to it at first, because like I love like the Ace Combat series, and so like I remember when you released the album art for Inverted, and I was just like, that's so cool. It's an F-15E strike eagle. It's so rad.
Man, that was cool, because I loved the Arcade's album cover. The first album they put out, the name escapes me right now. And I got in touch with Dean, who's the front man, and he's a graphic designer. He does all of the art. And I went, can you do me something similar? I've got an idea. Sorry, it was the. Hang on, I'm gonna have to look this up a second. Where are they? And sorry. Okay, so there we go. It was the Into the Unknown cover, and I absolutely adored it. Because it's sort of on a hill, it's looking out at the moon. It's super fun. And I just reached out to him. I was like, right, shadowy F-15 coming towards camera at night, right? It's just, those are the notes. Something cool. And he come back with that, and I was just blown away. It was awesome. So yeah, big fan of his work. So yeah, and I'm a big fan of the band as well. So it was just a nice little collab on that.
Yeah, for sure. And I like too how you have like, again, like with your Radical Squadron branding, how you have like patches and stuff like that. Like, I think that just like it really adds like some like depth and volume to the project.
Sure, I absolutely needed to do a Squadron patch, and you know, it is nerdy because it's Velcro back, so you could stick it on a flight suit, you know, stuff like that. A lot of people who bought them are like, "Oh, this is really hard to sew on." I'm like, "Yeah, but like if you get into the vibe, like it's supposed to go on sleeves, it's on fighter jackets, you know, that kind of stuff." Which is cool, and it's done by a company that actually does the military patches, so it's super legit. Which is really fun. And then Radical Squadron is from a cartoon, and it escapes me.
SWAT Cats.
Yes, thank you. SWAT Cats.
Yes.
Big fan of them growing up, and I didn't realise that was
too.
the slogan. I came up with that, and then I googled it. I was like, "Oh, cool," because I was massively into that anyway, and it must have just been buried in here. And I went, right, yeah, fine. That's totally. It's just my little nod to that cartoon, which is super fun, and only a few people have picked up on that.
You know, it's funny because like I loved SWAT Cats when I was a kid. I mean, kind of going back quintessentially like Ace Combat, so like I've loved fighter planes and like military aviation since I was a kid.
Sure.
And yeah, like so I had always kind of wondered about that, like if that was like a nod to SWAT Cat. So that's super cool that it is.
100%. I mean, I think like with both of us, like F-14s are just in here.
Oh, dude,
you
seriously.
had that imagery just growing up the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with Top Guns and your SWAT Cats and all that kind of stuff. It's it's good fun. And you know, I was massively into flight simulators growing up and military aviation. I was in the Air Cadets in the UK. You know, wanted to be a fighter pilot in the end, but these kind of stopped me. I'm happy enough though. Like I still sort of keep up with people who are doing it and did go on to do it, which was fun. And I'm still keeping that sort of love alive, which is great. And what I think's funny is that certain people who listen to the music go, "I don't picture planes when I listen to your stuff," but like I don't know what I was expecting, but that wasn't it. Like,
I mean, it sounds cool, and I mean, you did also do that great cover of course, Danger Zone with that Last Action Hero. So you know,
when he got in touch with me for that, he's like, "I have you in mind for a cover? It's Danger Zone." I'm like, "Yes, yes,
no question,
straight away." Like you don't even have to ask twice. I am all over that.
Oh man, yeah, no, I was listening. I was listening to that earlier. And I'm like, yeah, this is. I mean, because Danger Zone is iconic, but I mean, you guys just killed it on that cover. Like it was
Thank you.
It obviously did it justice, but you guys did it like with this like slick retro modern polish.
Oh, 100%. Like, Last Action Hero did an amazing job on that mix. It was so fun. And then we had Ben involved that does a lot of the guitar work on my stuff. And yeah, it was just a really, really fun project. Absolutely.
Nice. Well, yeah, and also too, kind of going off of that, and kind of keeping with like the Radical Squadron thing. I do like how because I was going through your Bandcamp as well, and I saw how everybody in the credits has a call sign, because obviously like you're G-Man, and I saw like Ben Higgins was Higgy and like Warbler.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. It was just a little nod and a little cheeky thing that I like to sort of throw in there, because again, it's kind of branding, but I just use it as a bit of fun. Yeah. Which is it. So we just sort of, right, I'm going to give you all call signs. Screw it.
Yeah, because I mean that's the whole thing with this. Like I feel like even with like like the darker, more introspective stuff, like there's still like that element of fun to it, which I mean obviously your work very much has.
Thank you. I mean, there's only a few people as well when I ship them merch that I give them a rank before their name, stuff like that. When I know they're into it, I'll do that for people because it's quite funny. I've sent stuff to people with like flight attendant so and so, stuff like that just for fun. Oh man, yeah, it's good fun. That's what it's supposed to be, isn't it? Like, if it's not fun, what's the point? Yeah,
exactly. Like, yeah, because I mean, you could be like making music with like that retro style, but just like if your heart's not into it, just like then why bother, you know?
Well, that's it. I'm a big fan of bands that don't take themselves too seriously anyway, and I kind of wanted to aspire to that. Like, there's definitely a vibe, but I'm doing it for fun, and I hope that shines through.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because I mean, like in addition to synth, like I really love power metal.
And
yeah, and power like as I'm sure you're aware, like we're aware, power metal is inherently silly, and that's part of the fun of it.
That's it. It's it literally is a fists in the air kind of just a vibe. It's like the other week I went to Bloodstock and Glory Hammer were there, and it was just fucking.
Oh my god! Yes, I love Glory Hammer. They're so ridiculous. I
am involved. This is good.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That's right. Because I remember, you went to Bloodstock recently. So, so what kind of stuff do you get into, like when you're not making music?
Good question. So yeah, I'm big fan of metal anyway, hence going to that. Not so much like, I don't know, I tried a modern scene, and it's just, there's very few bands that sort of tickle my pickle in that respect. But standout bands from that festival who were new to me, whether they're new or not, is another matter. But yeah, Green Lung really stuck out. They're kind of like a British Mastodon. With sort of pagan imagery and that kind of stuff, but their song structure and the way it was really working, songs about plague doctors and stuff like that. Yeah, it was just a real vibe. Really stuck out to me. Divine Chaos, bands like those. So and obviously the big people that are there, like your Judas Priests and the Creators, Devin Townsend. I mean, Devin's a huge influence anyway, because that guy does not care. It's great. He does what he wants, and it's cool every time. Again, doesn't take himself too seriously to do that an elephant on stage. So okay, sure, why not? So yeah, that's it. But when I'm not, when I'm kind of not into the retro scene, I'm usually gravitating to prog and metal and funk gigs as well. Things like that, going out and seeing people, which is it's all good fun.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Yeah, and because like you were mentioning earlier, like you do like a lot of production and stuff too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my main income is record production and things like that. Been doing that for 18 years, about that long. Freelance, recording sort of a little bit less. It's more mixing and mastering these days, which I'm absolutely fine with. Just before this interview, I was doing something that's a bit like sort of Groove Armada meets Massive Attack, that kind of stuff. And that was a vibe.
Oh yeah,
super chill, like with almost those grungy cassette kind of drums, like you've ripped them off a cassette and distorted them a bit. That kind of stuff. Yeah, that was fun. But yeah, that's generally what I do most of the time. So if there's ever sort of a gap between me releasing things, it's just when I get like super busy. It's not that I don't want to. I definitely want to, but bills need paying. That's basically it.
Yeah, day job and whatever.
Yeah, unfortunately. Well, no, but yeah, I shouldn't complain because I get to do what I enjoy for a living. So that's.
Oh yeah, no. Totally got you there, because I do by day I'm a web designer, which I've done that for 10 or so years now. I like it. I'm good at it, but it's just it's like I like doing like art, my art and everything. So but I guess like one provides for the other. So I know so you've done quite a few collaborations. Like I know you did that. You did the really great cover of Orinoco Flow with Zarina.
I did, yeah. That was she's incredible to work with. That was mostly done when I got it, to be honest. So the production was super slick, and I approached her because I bought the D50 that's currently sat next to me March last year, because I've always wanted one, and obviously the song was done with a preset from that synth, and I fired it up and went, I need to learn this just for funsies. And it was Joe from Forever Synth. He's like, you should cover that. And I've gone, what, with my voice? Maybe. And I did the whole thing. I got it all together and I tried singing it and went, this doesn't work. This doesn't work with a guy. I can try, but I don't think it's going to go over well. And I was racking my brain with who I could ask. And I had just bought Zarina's album prior to sort of a lot of the singles and stuff coming out, and I reached out and just went, well, how would you feel about doing this? And I got like this huge all caps, oh my God, yes. like back, like, I absolutely adore Enya. I can't believe someone's actually asking me to, yes. Okay, yeah, cool, because I really like her stuff. And yeah, it was super quick. She did the album cover for me, because her partner obviously is graphic design and videographer and just an all-round media whiz kid. And yeah, I went, I could put this together, but you live in such an amazing like beach sort of setting. Like, it'd be really cool to do, you know, a Zarina sort of style cover, but a photo rather than she does a lot of stuff that's sort of digital composite and things like that. So I thought, well, you know, just a really nice photo of you on the beach would be super cool. And I got that one back. But like, yeah, that's it. That's the one. You know, because I was, you know, sail away and boats and sea and that kind of stuff. I'm like, yeah, why not? So yeah, that was absolutely amazing to do. I'm really a big fan of that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because I know, like, I mean, even kind of like, even like kind of before that, I remember because like she's very much into like super like cutting edge prog stuff, and so like having that that just like iconic new age track. I mean, that's and of course she has like the perfect voice for it too, because she has this very like almost like haunting like kind of like gothic cathedral style vocals. So yeah, I mean you guys both did such a great job on that.
Thank you. Yeah, I knew that listening to her stuff. I felt like I can just picture what this is going to be, and she surpassed it. Absolutely surpassed it, because all the layers, and it was just wow. Absolutely blown away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is there anyone who like you've been wanting to work with, or who's kind of like on your like, you know, collaboration wish list?
Collaboration wish list. I mean, one of them's just come in. I might not be able to say, I'm not sure, so I probably won't, just for safety. Okay. But yeah, one of those has come in. Collaboration wish list. Wow. Okay. And all band names have just disappeared.
Of course.
Is it Sandor Garvin? I'd love to work with him. Let me just quickly look back through my Bandcamp stuff, because stuff I've bought recently. I'd love to do something with LeBrock. Oh
yeah. Those guys are fantastic. Like they have such a cool sound.
So good. Jay Diggs. I'd love to collab with Jay. Even if he's singing on it, or if I do something on his, that would be so good. Sebastian Gampel, same thing. Super sort of synth funky kind of stuff. I'd love Megan McDuffie on something. That'd be fun. I'm a big fan of her work, big fan of her voice. Productions are absolutely incredible. You know, oddly, Alpha Chrome Yayo. I think that would be. Like, I'd love to sing on an Alpha Chrome Yayo track, but I know most of his stuff's instrumental, and I'm not sure whether that would be a vibe, or if he'd be up for it. But yeah, there's so much stuff, and it's just absolutely mad. And I'm such a fan. I think that's kind of that's like part of his appeal, is just how like totally out there all of his stuff is, but like it's just like it's so just like quirky and weird, but like it's so good. Absolutely. Like, I love how that guy can drop anything he likes, and the synth scene just goes, yes. It's so good. Beckett, I'd like to do something with Beckett. Like, we've spoken on and off before when I did an interview with Space Jams, because we both like using TalkBox. They'll be like, can we have like a conversation just doing that? Like over a track, because I think that would be like just like a TalkBox fight would be super fun. You know, like a guitar battle, but like singing with the talk. It would be super good. So yeah, like Beckett, if you're watching, yo, up for it. Let's do it. Man, too many people. The Tilt, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the Tilt. Love those guys. Griff and Yate. Those are probably my last two, because otherwise I'll be going on forever. But yeah, freaking love Yate. I'd love to be on one of his tracks, or have him on one of mine. Yeah, and Griff is he's phenomenal. I love him.
Yeah, no, Griff is fantastic too, because kind of like with Alpha Chrome Yayo, he has such like a broad variety of styles, but like they're all distinct. Like he has like a very distinct sound. So like, because like with his most recent album, like there's like a lot of like city pop. There's like just like some like classic, just like outrun style synthwave, but like you can tell it's distinctly him.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and like the boy can bring the funk as well, and I'm just like, absolutely. So yeah, just scrolling through just off the top of my head, and yeah, those are sort of people I'd like to collab with eventually. But I've got 3 collabs in the pipe, all in the very early stages right now. I'm not sure what they want to do sort of in terms of promo just yet, so I probably won't be allowed to talk about it. But there's 3 in the pipe. I need to find some bleeding time to do it. One of them is going to be super out there. It's going to be a bit weird, but I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. It's going to be good. And one of them, my only note is he came to me because I did the sort of Def Leppard style gang vocals on It's Got to Me. But I've got a song, I kind of want that, but I also want you. So can we do that? Yes.
Well, that's one of the things that's so fun about the synthwave like scene, is just like that sense of community, how like folks who want to collaborate, because it's so tight knit, it's so tight knit that yeah, like if somebody says, hey, like I have an idea for a project, I feel like most of the time folks are like yeah, sure, let's get together and make something cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I like that it's such a collab heavy like genre, because people have different vibes and we all love the same thing. We just want the retro vibes. And like obviously like there's collabs I've done where I'm going, this isn't for me singing wise. Like it's definitely a track that I enjoy, but I don't think I should sing it. And I'm not above handing it over to someone who'll do a better job or the right job. And I think that's a lot of the vibe from a lot of people that do collab. When I collabed with Seth Duncan, I got this sort of really cool, like almost dark synthy pop kind of track, and it was just called Speakeasy as a working title. And then it sort of conjures up this image of okay, Speakeasy, it's kind of got that Blade Runner-y but like stomping down a street kind of vibe. What can I do with that but relate it to a speakeasy? Okay, it's 2020, so 1920s speakeasy heist, going to a bar. Right, go. And like I give him something back, and he's like, you didn't have to go with that title. Like, you created an image in my head, bro. I just went with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I remember when that came out, and yeah, just like you said, like it was very evocative, like it was very descriptive, and like yeah, it had like a very specific like kind of like cyberpunk like neo-noir vibe to it, which was really cool.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad that came across, because that's certainly what I wanted. And in my head it was kind of right, futuristic Ocean's 11, but like with 20s vibes somehow. I just sort of like, okay, let's type something to see if this works. Okay, sing it, done. And I got my partner Jade involved as well on the sort of voiceover aspect and things, which was, yeah, that was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Very cool. So you mentioned having some collaborations come up. So what kind of stuff do you have coming soon? I guess without giving too much away.
Not giving too much away. Okay, well, one's just a straight up kind of synth rock tune that's just going to get people partying, which is super fun, and it's sort of loosely based on sort of Street Sharks.
Oh wow!
So that's okay. So that's the image I've got in my head. The lyrics have been written for me. There's definitely a call and response thing that's going to be super fun. I'm going to go slightly more aggressive with it than you're used to hearing me.
Okay.
Not like down the metal road, but like there's going to be a little bit more aggression because of the context of the song. So the call and response is going to be sort of me, and then an aggressive me being the shark, stuff like that, which is going to be interesting.
Sounds like fun.
Then there's another one that's slightly more sort of walking pace tune, and then I'm not sure what the third one's going to be. It's probably going to be more down the dark synth route. Okay. So I'm not sure. I haven't even heard it yet, so I'm not even sure what I'm going to be getting. But they're like, "I need you on this song." I'm like, "Okay." So as soon as I got something, I'll send it over. I'm like, "All right." So I'm just waiting on that one. But yeah, there's a few coming, and then in Strike Eagle Camp, there's a song in here that I want to get out, and I am a big fan of Sweatwave and montage songs and things like that, and I just want to do one of those. just to tick that box.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I absolutely love it. Like that Team Sweatwave EP that came out last year was just mwah.
Yeah.
I've had a song loosely based on like dogfighting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like about training for a dogfight. In the plain sense, not the illegal sense.
Oh my god! I was gonna say it's like I'm figuring out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think with this is a giveaway, but yeah, like loosely based on that, and I've got a working title of "Feel the Burn," as in Afterburn.
Oh yeah.
Right. So yeah, we'll see what that happens. I've got a chorus in my head, and I just need to get it down. But there's a few sort of ways I can take it, but I'm not sure when I'll be doing it, or stuff like that. But that's coming. So yeah, there's 3 collabs, and that currently. The other thing that I'm sort of almost tempted to do is at the moment I'm sort of doing single EP kind of thing, or just singles. Purely because I want stuff out regularly, rather than sort of making people wait a year, 2 years to put a full length out. But like every time I get inspired, I'm like, should I just knuckle down and do a full length? Because I think there's one in me, but I'm not sure yet. So if people want that, get in touch. Like I just need to know if that's a vibe that people want, because you're gonna be waiting a while. I mean, and I don't want to keep people waiting too long, because of what I do. It gets busy and then it doesn't, so like I have to sort of work with the ebb and flow of that and try and fit stuff in. So yeah, like I'm all right with the release schedule at the moment. I just sort of every 3 or 4 months trying to put something out, but yeah, I'd love to do a full length eventually. I fancy a Strike Eagle vinyl at some point. I think an EP is too short for a full sort of vinyl release, and I'd like to do like a full vinyl thing. That'll be fun.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I mean that seems to be kind of the one of the big trends too. Is to just release like singles periodically, because I mean that's the thing too. Like you don't want to keep people waiting, but it also kind of keeps you in the public consciousness, because it's like when you have like a single or an EP pop up like fairly regularly, then yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I feel like people can consistently remember you.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you can see. I mean, I'm not a big fan of numbers anyway, but you can see from the stats just how quickly people sort of drop off, and it's usually about a month, and then it sort of tickles along, and then sort of a couple of months later, you can drop something else, and it picks back up again. But yeah, it's I do like the sort of semi-regular releasing singles, releasing EPs. I'm also a big fan of whatever singles I drop shouldn't be on an EP. I might do, like, if I did a full length, I'd probably drop a song from it before I drop the whole thing. But I wouldn't do like a separate release of that song and then make people buy a record. I think that's a little weird in my book. But plenty of people do it. Plenty of people are all right with it. But yeah, in my opinion, I think singles should be singles and EPs and albums should be albums. And I'm okay with a single release from an album, just to promote it, but not like drop it as a single, as its own dedicated thing, and then have the album later. It just feels a little bit weird, in my opinion. Yeah. But that's just me.
Yeah, for sure. And because especially like with singles and EPs, I mean, you don't want to like release a single and then like you release like a 3 or 4 song EP. It's like if somebody goes to buy the EP, it's like they've already got a third to a quarter of it. Just like that's just kind of redundant.
Yeah, particularly I've seen it a few times when people have done like 6 singles from an album of 11 songs, and you're like, guys, I've already bought 4 of these, like. Yeah, so that's what I think is a little bit weird, but like it doesn't stop me buying the album, but it does feel a little bit weird.
Yeah, it's like having a movie spoiled for you. Like you've heard most of it already, so.
Yeah, it's like, okay, guess I'll get the full thing because I want the other songs, but yeah, that's just my opinion.
Well, we've got a few more minutes. So, was there anything else you wanted to add or promote or anything like that?
Not at the moment, because I'm kind of between releases and sorting things out. But yeah, if people want to check me out, I'm on all the major platforms. Which, as much as I hate that term, but if you can find me on Spotify, Tidal, Bandcamp, all that, YouTube, all that stuff, under Strike Eagle. And it's on all the socials, Strike Eagle Band, all one word. And it's strikeeaglesynth.com, because I got that before I got all the social medias, and you couldn't have synth because it was one letter too long. Like, damn it! So I wanted everything to be the same, and yeah, I messed up. I should have done the socials first. But yeah, there we go. That's basically it, really.
it's consistent enough.
Yeah, kind of. I should probably just buy strikeeagleband.com and just swap it over, but whatever.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, Strike Eagle, Graham Waller, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and it's been a pleasure chatting with you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Cheers, bud. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for watching. Be sure to check out Strike Eagle on Bandcamp, Spotify, and more, as well as follow him on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can follow me at Patrick King Art on Twitter and Instagram, and be sure to check out the Synthwave Ultra playlist on Spotify for tons more synthwave of every kind. Don't forget to like this video and leave a comment, as well as subscribe to this channel for more great conversations with folks from all across the synthwave scene. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Synthwave Ultra.